You look at how Ron DeSantis reacted to the cruise ship companies when they said, okay, if you want to come on a cruise ship, you're going to have proof of vaccination, which is basically a vaccine passport. Ron DeSantis said, well, then you just can't dock in Florida. Sorry, you won't be docking here. You won't be doing business here.
Beautiful. And I love that,
Jason,
man.
He's the thought leader of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
But Jason Kenney didn't say anything about that. He just said, yeah, we're not doing them, but you're literally doing them. You're standing at an event where they're doing 2 of them.
What's very much in the news these days is the vaccine, as always. The mainstream media is consumed with what I call COVID porn. They just feast on, broadcasting how many new positive cases there are. It's all doom and gloom. And speaking of doom and gloom, we have a little video here, folks, on Premier Kenney and vaccine passports. Check it out.
What's your position on vaccine passports for those individuals unwilling to be vaccinated?
Opposed. And we've been very clear from the beginning that we will not facilitate or accept vaccine passports, and that, in fact, I believe that they would, in principle, contravene the Health Information Act and also possibly the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. We also amended the Public Health Act to remove the 110-year-old power allowing Alberta to force people to be inoculated. So these folks who are concerned about mandatory vaccines have nothing to be concerned about, and there will be no vaccine passports in Alberta.
And will the provincial government act on behalf of Alberta citizens if the federal government seeks to impose such restrictions?
Yes.
Am I too cynical these days, Sheila, whenever I hear a leader saying, folks, you have nothing to be concerned about? Well, you know what?
I'm concerned.
Yeah, my heart starts racing, right? Kind of like the captain of the Titanic saying, we're taking on a little water, but relax, we got the band playing some swinging tunes here. Sheila, what's your take on your premier?
Well, first of all, I think I was having some audio problems, but Justin, does it sound like it's been fixed? Did I fix it? Yes. He said it sounded fine, but obviously he noticed. So I had the wrong mic talking to the wrong piece of equipment, but I fixed it. My concern with Jason Kenney is, while he says he's against vaccine passports, the first major event in Alberta post reopening requires vaccine passports in 2 different ways, and I forgot about the first way. So the one that everybody's talking about, all the public, is that you require basically proof of vaccination to go into Nashville North. Now, Nashville North is one of the huge attractions at the Stampede. It's the live music venue, and as you know, we haven't had live music in 16 months. We love our country music. We love partying at the Stampede. This is the place to be. If you're not at the rodeo, you go over to Nashville North and you require proof of vaccination there or rapid COVID testing. So you can get in the queue to get a number to go and get rapid tested to get into Nashville North. Even though I think well over 70% of our population has had at least 1 dose of vaccine. So there's 1 vaccine passport that's happening at the event that Jason Kenney was literally at. He's at a Stampede pancake breakfast. The whole city is engaged in the Stampede. And that has slipped his mind that, wait, we are actually testing a vaccine passport at this quasi-public agency, the Calgary Stampede. And secondarily, for the American rodeo cowboys to come up. So these are the guys who actually have been competing in rodeo in places like North and South Dakota, Wyoming, Texas, Florida, all the places where they could qualify for and participate in rodeos leading up to the Calgary Stampede. Whereas our guys really didn't get a chance to do any of that, the Canadian rodeo cowboys, unless they were in the States. They required proof of vaccination to compete in the Stampede. And because of that, a lot of world champ rodeo cowboys said no. And, you're dealing with American cowboy culture, so you don't tell them what to do. You're not going to tell them you need to get this experimental medical, engage in this large scale medical testing to participate in the sport that you've been safely participating in all these open states in the United States. And so a lot of them didn't come up. That's where we're at. And so when Jason Kenney says to Adam, yeah, we're not doing vaccine passports here, you're literally doing vaccine passports here.
So that's really interesting. So you're telling me, Sheila, they're saying to these American cowboys, you need both jabs or you don't get to ride, period. And,
right.
And well, and I mean, that is amazing. What I want to ask you, and forgive my ignorance, when it comes to Nashville North and the Calgary Stampede, who runs that?
So the Calgary Stampede is this sort of quasi-public agency, and so I think it's got some money thrown in by the city of Calgary, and it's sort of this self-perpetuating agency. So while it's kind of private, it's kind of not really, and but it is this testing ground for the first major reopening event where there are 2 different vaccine passports required for people to engage in the Stampede. Yeah. I guess it would be like the what you guys have an exhibition in Toronto or whatever it is. It's like that.
And that, of course, would be the city agency. Of course, that's been canceled again this year. It usually takes a world war to cancel the CNE, but now it's just COVID. No, because I would love to get, Sheila, a legal opinion, even if it's a private, a quasi-public agency, whatever you want to call it. Do they have indeed this right to say that you want to attend, you want to compete, you've got to have both jabs, or else the answer is no? I don't know. I'm just posing it as a question. Maybe it's something we should run by our lawyers, and maybe these are court challenges in the near future to come.
Well, and, for Jason Kenney, again, in a world of Cuomos, you always want to be a DeSantis, but more often than not these days, Jason Kenney's more of a Cuomo. And so you look at how Ron DeSantis reacted to the cruise ship companies when they said, okay, if you want to come on a cruise ship, you're going to have proof of vaccination, which is basically a vaccine passport. Ron DeSantis said, well, then you just can't dock in Florida. Sorry, you won't be docking here. You won't be doing business here.
Beautiful. And I love that,
Jason,
man.
He's the thought leader of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
But Jason Kenney didn't say anything about that. He just said, yeah, we're not doing them, but you're literally doing them. You're standing at an event where they're doing 2 of them.
Oh, hi. That was a clip from our Rebel Daily live stream. It's hosted Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by the big boss man, Ezra Levant, and Tuesdays and Thursdays by me, Sheila Gunn Reid, and my good friend, David Menzies. On the live stream, we talk about the news of the day, we show some videos, and we interact with our viewers at home. We stream at 12 noon Eastern, 10 Mountain. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Super U, and Odyssey.